How are you, Tiffany?
I have my moments. For the simple fact that I'm sorry. I may lose my husband. I may lose my soulmate. My children won't have their father. He won't see grandkids. I try my hardest. People tell me all the time I'm a strong woman. I didn't know myself how strong I was until this happened. I just wake up every morning and go about my day. I go to bed every night and go, okay, next day. Tomorrow is another day.
You have two daughters who are at home, 12 and 16. What are you guys telling them? What do they know? How has this impacted their lives?
Both of my children actually are bullied at school. My oldest came home from school one day. She didn't even come home. She called me halfway through the day, crying. And I said, what is the matter? And she said, somebody wrote 16 shots on her desk. My 12-year-old, innocent 12-year-old, sat in her classroom and another student called her father a murderer to her face.
What's it like when you guys go out together as a family? What's a day like for you?
He doesn't like being in public because people will recognize him, people will give looks. I have seen it. He will disguise himself if possible. Most of the day-to-day business is done by me. I have been private for this long for that simple fact. I do have two children. Normal life, grocery shopping, paying the bills, taking them to their activities. I wanted to remain private for the safety of my children.
The biggest fight of your family's life will start tomorrow. How are you guys feeling going into that?
We're all petrified. We're absolutely petrified. I'm sorry. I have the possibility of losing my husband for the rest of his life and my life.
Are you 100% confident that your husband will get a fair jury trial?
Absolutely not.
Let's just say your husband goes to prison. Are you worried at all for his safety in prison?
Absolutely.
What do you think will happen?
They'll kill him. Somebody will kill him. I will lose my husband. Either way, I lose my husband.
A lot of people are going to see this interview and they're going to look at it and say, this is publicity. Why are you talking now?
He is not the things that all of the media has portrayed him as. There are thousands of stories out there that have told everybody out there that he's a racist, trigger-happy police officer. And he's none of those things. He's a kind, gentle, just a gentle giant.
When you say Jason is not a racist, tell me why viewers should believe you.
If you really sat down and got to know my husband, had a cup of coffee with him, just a conversation with him, you would absolutely see there is not a racist bone in that man's body. Some of his units, he worked with a lot of African Americans. If he was a racist, they would not work with him. My brother-in-law is African American, and they are very close. They're always together. He wanted to step up and speak for him. And my husband said, absolutely not. I'm not putting your life in danger. I don't want anything to happen to you or your family. He has children of his own. He's like, I try not to put anybody else in harm's way. I have a Latino stepmother. I have much mixed race in my family.
When he came home, October 20th, when did you know something was wrong?
He did not tell me right away. He let me go do about my business, do the day, come home, take care of the kids, and then he sat down and told me.
And what did you say?
I just looked at him. I sat right next to him on the couch and I looked at him and I said, did you do what you were trained to do? And he said, yes. And I said, that's all I need to know. I know who my husband is. He's not a trigger-happy, racist cop. They charged my husband with first-degree murder.
So you don't even think Jason should have been charged with murder?
No, he didn't commit murder. He did his job. He did what the police department trained him to do.
Do you think the mayor used Jason as a political scapegoat?
Absolutely. From the minute this all happened, they made my husband a political scapegoat. Absolutely.
When you say they, you mean?
The top brass of the police department and Mayor Rahm Emanuel. Absolutely 100%.
You have people who are going to be watching this right now, and they're going to be listening to this, and they're not going to have any sympathy for you because they're going to say Laquan McDonald's family doesn't have him at all anymore. What do you say to them?
We pray every day. My husband and I pray every day for their family. My children, we all go to church. We pray for that family every single day.
What are you praying for exactly?
I pray for peace. I pray for Laquan McDonald to have peace. I pray for my husband to have peace. I pray for the entire city to have peace. We were driving down 55 one day, I-55 coming in toward the city, and we passed Pulaski where the incident happened. And I was looking out the window at the time, and I look over to him, and he's mouthing. And I'm like, what are you doing? And I realized it in that moment. He was saying a prayer. He says a prayer constantly, every time we pass Pulaski.
If Jason is acquitted, are you worried for what's going to happen to this city?
We've made this our home, our kids. This has been all my children have ever known. I don't want to see anything bad happen to this city or anyone in it.
You get to see your two girls every day. You get to see them grow up. Tina Hunter doesn't get to see Laquan McDonald again. What would you say to her, mom to mom?
I'm a mom. It would hurt. I understand. I mean, it's the worst hurt that I would ever feel. But I could only say that I just continue to pray for her. I pray for her son. I just pray.
Last question. Court starts tomorrow. You and Jason are alone for maybe your last few minutes together. What will you say to him going into court?
Same thing I say every day. Same every morning. I love you. Have a good day. And give him a kiss goodbye.